Why a week is 7 days long. We know a day comes from Earth's rotation, a year from its revolution around the sun, and months are tied to the moon. But week? That's not written in the stars, or at least not directly. We already covered in our previous video how days, months, and a year works. In this video, I'll be covering how weeks were invented. The 7-day week is one of humanity's oldest inventions of timekeeping, born from a mix of astronomy, religion, and social life. Let's dig into the history of how this cycle spread across civilizations. Our story began in Babylon. The Babylonians were obsessed with night sky. They carefully watched the heavens and noticed 7 moving lights: the sun, the moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Unlike the fixed stars, these wander across the sky. To honor them, the Babylonians divided time into a cycle of 7 days, each ruled by one of these celestial bodies. When the 7th day ended, the cycle began again. Meanwhile, the Hebrews' word gave the week a sacred meaning. In the book of Genesis, God creates the world in 6 days and rests on the 7th. That day of rest becomes the Sabbath. The 7-day rhythm became a cornerstone of Jewish life. And remarkably, the Sabbath tradition is still alive, echoing across cultures as a weekly day of rest or worship. The Romans, however, didn't start with 7. The early calendar had 8-day week tied to the market days. But around the 1st century AD, things began to shift. Under the influence of Eastern religion and Babylonian astronomy, the 7-day cycle spread into Roman life, and by 3rd century, it was fully adopted. The days were even linked to gods and planets. That's why we still say Saturday for Saturn, Sunday for Sun, and Monday for the Moon. The Roman stamp on our calendar remains visible every week. Now, let's move east to ancient India. Indian calendars were already incredibly sophisticated based on lunar months and solar movement. People thought in terms of lunar days, fortnights, and months, not weeks. But by early century AD, the Indian astronomer described a repeating 7-day cycle, also tied to the same visible planets as the Babylonians. What's fascinating is that Indian names for days matched the Roman namings almost perfectly. Yet, this wasn't copied. India developed it independently, with each day linked to specific rituals, deities, and fasting tradition. Even today, many Hindus chose certain weekdays for prayers, fasts, and new ventures. But was the 7th the only option? Not at all. The Egyptians once tried a 10-day week. A revolutionary French attempted the same. The Soviet Union even experimented with 5-day and 6-day weeks. All of them eventually failed. 7, however, endured. It was deeply woven into religion, ritual, and daily life. In the end, the 7-day week spread worldwide. Christianity carried it through Europe, and Islam spread it across the Middle East and beyond. Other traditions folded it into their calendars. Unlike days, months, or years, a week has no direct astronomical basis. It's entirely human invention, a scaffold built to organize life. Early farming and trading communities needed short, repeatable cycles to mark markets, rest days, and rituals. Religion reinforced it. The Sabbath in Judaism, Sunday in Christianity, Friday prayers in Islam, and fasting tradition in Hinduism. The week became a way to connect human life to the cosmos, the divine, and each other. Once adopted, it was impossible to let go. So what's the real use of week? It isn't natural, it's social, a human invention to coordinate labor, ritual, and cosmic symbolism. And if you're curious about how days and months were shaped by astronomy, check out my earlier video in the time and space playlist after this one. So the next time you count down to the weekend, remember, you're following a rhythm set thousands of years ago by stargazers, priests, and emperors. And hey, don't wait for the next planetary movement to hit that like and subscribe button.